This is where I come in and say there were two major developments shortly before we left for Michigan. Development A, we rescued this absolutely cute and cuddly pit bull mix, 8 years old. Ollie, we named him. Actually, it turns out everybody likes Ollie, and Ollie likes everybody else. I mean, how could you not? Development B, we rescued this 18-year-old puppy because Morry just had to have a convertible up in Michigan. And he had to have a wardrobe to go with the Toyota Solara. And he had to get the hat and the convertible to Crystal Ridge. And we had to get Ollie there, actually a piece of cake, because he went with us, and the car got there in great shape, our neighbors told us, and they would put it in the garage for us, where I assumed the car would stay. With friends like these, what jokers they are. And I can take a joke, sort of, and we and the family were just happy to be back in Michigan. Because the more things don't change, the more I like it. The Michigan sun was still setting, and the eagle was still sitting in Beulah. Status quo beautiful for the beach. Remember those fire hazards? Somebody still had one. There were still beautiful nights on the ridge, and one night on the ridge, the fabled northern lights, invisible to the naked eye but captured by Joan's iPhone. But there were some nights to forget.
It's real dark over to the left.
This is how weather on the ridge rolls. And this is how Ollie, poor guy, crawls Ollie under our bed. Yeah. But we are pleased to report we got Ollie some fine drugs from the vet, and our boy was ready for the 4th of July. And we also got this kind of weather.
Smoke from wildfires in Canada also a concern today.
So, a tip of the hat to our friends up north, but we still like you better than our president does. Perfect weather for Joan to do one of her yoga classes online, or knock out the season's 1,000-piece puzzle in under 1 million hours, while at the same time checking her emails. All this while collecting money from desperate neighbors who want to cuddle with a nice warm dog. Ollie, it turns out, is a people magnet.
Love that.
Your reporter loves this. American Legion Friday night burgers on Betsy Bay. $7 gets you a burger, gets you chips, and another $2 gets you a beer. And a Diet Coke is only $1. Could it be any better? Sure could, friends. Top that burger with a hot fudge sundae. And get one of your Ridge neighbors to request it, and that way Joan couldn't blame me. And while we're discussing healthy eating, this is what Joan loves. The market in Alberta. These are not dinner bells. These are alarm bells, the way these radical leftist commies see it in Benzonia. You may recognize some of these outsiders who came in to stir up nothing but trouble. I recognize that guy on the right, just had to get in the newspaper, the one with the knee brace. That's the guy from up on the ridge, nothing but trouble. I bet he hangs out with those radicals on Forest and Frankfurt, spouting all that patriotic stuff. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution of the United States of America, to which this obviously radical Michigander homeowner declares, we are better than this. All plants on deck, as we salute the planters and the weeders and the painters and this painter, both apparently hired by the board with no consideration from the members for big bucks. We can only wonder how much was spent for this fancy new trail. We spent a few of our own bucks at Interlochen. Their perennial high school musical is always a hit, and Beautiful was a giant. But they wouldn't let me take video, so you'll have to use your imagination. No need to imagine a really good burger at Interlochen before the performance, because it was really good. Some early concern about no wildflowers in the meadow dissipated quickly. They came back with a colorful passion. So did the ruby-throated hummer. See, Ruby. And guess what else came back? Butterflies, of course, but take a close look in the butterfly bush and look at what we saw. The Google thinks it's a winged moth. Our two good friends from Kansas City came back, Steve and Margie Cooper. No heavy lifting with them. They already know the neighborhood. This is Beulah's annual 4th of July parade, where kids now get a chance at free candy and maybe tooth decay because they're taking the fluoride out of the water. But it could get put back in 2026 if the Democrats, shown here, win back the House. But I digress. As is the case every year, there were old men driving old cars.
Get a picture of this?
And on the ridge in this empty parking lot, this young man driving his old man's car, and the old man crazy. Stop! Time for dinner, courtesy of Cook Candy. What a spread she put out. Holly and Charlie supped from a separate menu. And from the deck, the downtown Beulah fireworks show. Meanwhile, in the parking lot across the street,
two parents with advanced college degrees, and this is what they do for their child. Wow!
Joining in the fireworks fest, that's Christopher, Jerry's summer condo fund buddy. Joe and Candy's neighbors will be thrilled to know they only used about half their supply in Benzonia. If the Joe and Jerry noise show didn't float your boat, how about some plain old plane noise in nearby Thompsonville, Michigan?
It's a King Tech 320 turbine. It's got about 80 pounds of thrust. Knock on wood, I've had this for 5 years and haven't had any accident.
And that's a good thing, because if Mike did crack up, he'd have to borrow mine. But seriously, if I wanted to buy one of these things, what would I have to have in the bank?
Ball probably between 15 and 20 grand.
By the way, Michael told me when he's not flying these big boy toys, he's flying the real McCoys at air shows all around the globe. If you think this looks romantic, how about a plane ride to New York, New York? Here we have Morry and Joan packed like a couple of fresh sardines on a flight to Brooklyn, New York to see their son Dave get married. The baby was real. The fun-filled flight worth every minute to see Dave and Sonia unite on their deck in Brooklyn. Officiated by this email-ordered rabbi, Josh Einiger, who also moonlights as a reporter for ABC7 New York. And now, romantics, the money shot. L'chaim, you two. Are they happy or what? It's time for Sports on the Ridge. Just in from the Ridge Sports Center business desk, resident tennis pros Tom and Carol Leahy attempted to establish a summer camp for would-be pros, but sadly the only kids who showed up were their own kids, and the camp was forced to close after the 2025 season when those kids refused to pay. Far more promising was the world champion Ridge pickleballers' switch from the standard boring balls to real pickles, adding a slice of spice oh so nice to this champion's game.
My favorite pickle is Vlasic. Kosher, dill.
And Dick the Dillman Northway knows how to drill a pickle. Usually. How quickly the crowd could turn. But with the smell of garlic and sweat enveloping the court, Northway comes back. But then, out of nowhere, Baller Ford packs this pickle of a gut punch. On into the afternoon it went. Oh, until finally, someone put that precious pickle away. Some journalistic license was taken during the production of this segment. Perhaps the biggest winner in the Ridge team's switch from balls to pickles was our friend Ollie, who got the ball. But seriously, the monthly condo dinners were back, and it appeared the guy behind Joan was awfully serious. Maybe he was thinking about the cars he saw around Benzie this summer. You bet your Buick he was, admiring this American Motors muscle car, AMX, from the late 60s, and Benzie birdwatching from the 50s to the 60s to the early aughts. No Woody jokes, boys and girls. This is simply the prettiest and perhaps the last of the real Woody station wagons of the 20th century. Remember your dad's Ford Country Squire? This one from across the pond isn't much of a looker, but what a great name for any car. It's a Morris, of course. And a literal chorus, well actually just Morris, of voters selected this as the prettiest 2007 Solara they've ever seen. Jerry and Candy gave it a 5-star review, especially Candy, whose hair was blown free of charge. We are out in the Benzie boonies, where I take all of our guests, whether they want to go or not. This is the mysterious spot. Do not share this location. In this case, the guests are Mike and Kathy Muskoff from Queens, New York, ground zero for skeptics.
Is taking his feet off the pedals.
And the car is backing up the hill.
Try to control you for a second. We're going up a hill, folks.
And we're in neutral?
Yes, he's not doing anything. He's in neutral.
For no compensation, Mike and Kathy agreed to be gobsmacked. They are, after all, staying at our place for free. And are invited to return here next year. Really, no credible explanation exists. Morry and Mike were genuinely gobsmacked when they spotted none other than fellow CBS New Yorker Martha Teichner. She of CBS Sunday Morning News lives in these parts. We took a drive down south to hang with our friends Susan and Bob in Coldwater, Michigan, hosts who really knew how to treat a guest. They day tripped us to Chelsea, Michigan. Not a total escape, but we did get to see an outrageously funny play at the Purple Rose, the theater owned by the actor Jeff Daniels. I wasn't allowed to shoot video, but the play is about dogs played by people going to visit the vet. I think you really had to be there. We were, and we loved it. almost as much as the ride we got to take in the pink pontoon boat, which looks like it belonged to Barbie, but came with Susan and Bob's cottage. Meanwhile, back on Crystal, he's no tourist. He's Captain Steve Wincoop, master of Crystal Lake. Steve and first mate Margot took us on their mammoth pontoon boat. It's actually a rental. And we had a ball.
Clearly, these two weren't in Charlotte anymore.
When we simply wanted to look at water and think about whatever, look at Cedar Lake, just 10 miles west of Traverse City. Or, closer to home, we liked this perch on the banks of the Platte in Platte River Park. Ollie seemed, well, distracted by that Vishla with the big, long tongue. Poor guy was just thirsty, probably. Though Ollie wasn't exactly tiny tongue. And we were A&W thirsty. Oh my God, they actually drove from San Diego. But seriously, they are Dave and Cynthia, our good friends, hoping to escape sizzling SD for this.
I see the sand on my video.
Okay.
Yeah, I see it.
And the weather turned to wet and windy and cold, and the temperature never beat 60 for their entire visit. So we did a lot of indoor stuff, took them to Traverse and showed them Cherry Republic, turned them loose on the cherry-flavored candies. Michigan heroin. And even though the cold rain persisted, we were cozy in front of the fire with stimulating conversation, while Ollie showed Cynthia how to make grilled cheese sandwiches. And David showed us all how to make coffee without the carafe.
Actually, I forgot to put the carafe out when I made the coffee the night before.
But he pushed the button.
And there was no carafe there in the morning.
You're always sticking up for David.
What?
We in turn let our guests experience high-end dining at Gino's in Thompsonville. David displayed amazing patience as we waited for the barista at Starbucks, who took forever to make the coffees, while we waited behind this person. While we're on the subject, we did see Naked Gun during another cold afternoon, this in Traverse City. Very funny flick. While it seemed as if the exciting momentum of the visit would never end, alas, we knew it had to, and we bid farewell to Cynthia and David.
Well, they're gone.
Yeah, finally.
Is this thing on?
But seriously, the departure of the Lewises, our last guests of the season, reminded us the season was beginning to end. On Crystal, the boats, the docks, and the hoists were coming out of the water, and the pumpkins were there for the picking up. Pumpkins everywhere, and those are the pumpkins plopped at our pad. While we're on the peas, the 1,000-piece puzzle was complete.
Put them together for JR.
Need more evidence of autumn's arrival? The salmon had come out of Lake Michigan and were swimming their final strokes, folks, up the Betsy River to the dam.
So long, shoppers.
And our lovely meadow was getting a haircut for the winter. Behold the quiet.
The beachgoers were goners, which was okay with us.
Actually, we were pleased to meet up with Larry Mosier and his wife. So I said to myself, ask Larry if he would share his cool drone video and I could use it for the credits. I know, I thought we were done too, but one day before we left, there was this.